morning, it's Yvonne back to do your bonus read. Before we go any further, I just want to just reinforce the idea of scamming. If people need to scam on my page and pretend they're me, then obviously they don't have the integrity to put themselves out there under their own name. So there's a lot of, how would you put it, deceit involved in advertising on somebody else's page, which already puts those people in a poor light. I've had a lot of people riding on the back of my page in regard to spell casting as well, and offering spell casting on my page. And again, if it's someone else offering spell casting, why do they need to go on my page and do it? Ask yourself that. If you're going to use spell casting, then you go and seek it out for yourself. I don't think it's particularly a good way to go, because obviously there are lessons you need to learn, and I don't feel that the universe gives you a quick out on things. But that is entirely your decision and where you want to spend your money. I guess we all seek things out when we're a little bit sort of lost and needing the support. But just be careful, investigate, go into it, check. There's nothing wrong with asking the questions. If somebody that says they're me comes forward and says, do you want a reading? You already know it's not me. I won't chase you for a reading, because I absolutely 100% believe that you need to seek that out. I certainly wouldn't use a service like that without checking it out thoroughly. Just be careful. That's all I'm asking. Just be careful. I know that these people are very desperate to make money out of people who are in a weak situation. That's what scamming is about, sort of grabbing you at your lowest point sometimes, which is pretty cruel. But as a human being, I just want to say to you, be really careful about what you go after. Ask questions. All right, let's do a bonus reading for you today. I think because that reading came up with the What's Cracking reading, that maybe you have deceitful people around you at the moment and you need to be cautious. Be careful of what you're offered here. This card's just jumped out at me. When I did it before, I got the Devil card. So there's obviously a real need for you to be cautious about what you take here. Just, you know, if you've been fooled before, you're not going to be fooled again. If you have people who are trying to scam money out of you, make sure you report them as well. Not that that always works, because I know for a lot of the social media platforms, they don't see it as scamming. So if somebody advertises on your page, they don't see that as scamming. I have people who've impersonated me, and I'm still struggling to get those pages taken down. I'm just lucky that I have beautiful people like yourself that know that that is a scam page. They know, because I have only one channel. So as I have said before, I will let you know if I open up a new channel. All right, let's see what's going on in the bonus read. I don't want any more of this stuff. The Chariot card, I'd like the world to be a beautiful place. We all like the world to be a beautiful place, but I guess it makes us aware that not everybody has your best intention at heart. So we have the Chariot card coming through first, which is the card that represents the sign of Cancer. Now, very often the Chariot is seen as forward movement, but in reality it is not moving. It means that you can move forward once you have all your opposing forces moving in the right direction. So what it is the potential for movement. It's the potential to move forward. And in this particular Chariot, you can quite clearly see this guy is ready to move, but his sphinxes are not. And this means that there is forward movement promised to you, but unless you align what you want in life or what you want in your world, you aren't going to get the forward movement you're after. This is about having your yin and yang in balance. It's about having everything moving in the right direction. So for example, if you're stuck in a decision about what direction to go in, you're not going to be able to move forward until you've made the decision on what direction to take. Very, very clear when you look at it that way. So it may be that you're being given an opportunity because we have you walking away from something here. So maybe you're leaving something behind with one of these sphinxes so that you can have forward movement. But until you make that decision to walk away, the forward movement is not occurring. But something here is not making you happy. I feel like here we may be talking about a relationship with the Hierophant here. You could be in a marriage or a commitment here where a decision needs to be made on what way you move forward. You could be dealing with a Knight of Wands. So you may be dealing with someone who's a little immature, maybe a bit of a player, and certainly not someone who is fixed on making something work. So it could be, if you have a look at it like that, if you're in a relationship where somebody isn't investing in the same way as you need to choose to move away in order to move forward. For some of you, it's definitely a commitment here, but I also feel when I see this card, there's a feeling of tradition. So it's like maybe you keep sticking something out because it's a habit, or maybe you're sticking with something thinking somehow or another you can fix it. Neither one is going to work for you. So it could be about tradition, but there is definitely a decision here in regards to a Leo, Sag, Aries, possibly here. Maybe you've already communicated and there's that Tower again. There is something that needs to be brought down in order to have a brand new beginning. There is something you need to do here, and if that is the walking away or the leaving something behind, then you need to do that in order to move forward. So somehow or another, especially with that Two of Swords, I'm feeling like you are really stuck in a decision. And maybe with that Knight of Wands, they're a very playful energy. It's a very enticing, alluring energy. It's someone who's very alive and probably has great charm. They probably are very inviting, but maybe they don't have your best interests at heart, but you need to work that out for yourself. It could be that they're not committing with that Chariot. If someone doesn't commit, then obviously if you've got one person trying to commit and someone isn't, then you cannot move forward. It's that sort of energy. All right, so we have the Nine of Cups. So I know this is what you want. Absolutely. When the Nine of Cups comes up, it's wanting something, it's wanting a wish, wanting a dream to come true, it's wanting something here. The desire for something to eventuate into something good. So, you know, if this is that you want somebody to commit to you, then it's your greatest desire to have a relationship with them. All right, yeah, you're trying to manifest as well. So I feel like whoever this is, whoever you're dealing with here, I definitely feel like it's romantic, and I definitely feel you want to move forward with them. I feel that you've invested enough now that you want to move forward with them. It is something you really want. The fact they're coming up as a Knight of Wands says to me somehow or another you've got it. If you're going to go with this, if you're going to work on this, you've got to get it across the line. Because they need to be a king. They need to be able to offer you what you want. And at the moment, it looks like you're working very hard to prove something to yourself, when maybe at the end of the day, this person as the Knight of Wands may not be able to commit to you. But then we have the Fool card. So I'm loving this Fool card because I feel like here I could be saying to some of you, you're ready to move away, and to others of you, you're ready to jump into this and see if you can make it work. Not all relationships that start off negative stay that way. I mean, I've spoken to a lot of people who've had, you know, very poor beginnings to their relationship, but because both people have been willing to sort of put in the energy, then they can make it work. But both people. You cannot do it on your own. You cannot fix someone. You cannot let them have all the say in the relationship. There has to be an equal cut. So when I see the Fool card, I feel like, are you ready to jump into something here? Because I see, you know, the Nine of Cups here, and especially with this Seven of Pentacles, and I feel like you can see the potential, absolutely, and you're willing to jump into something. But maybe you're also on the fence here. Maybe you're willing to jump in, but you're also willing to run in the opposite direction. Chariot. All right, so we have the King of Swords. Aquarius, Libra, Gemini energy here. I feel like quite strongly, though, there is an element of some of you wanting to jump out of a relationship and sort of cut it off here. I feel like the King of Swords is definitely representing the ending for some of you. And jumping away, going after your dreams, but choosing to do it alone, not choosing to, you know, make or put in energy to something that is not going anywhere. All right, so we have the Hermit card. Could be dealing with a Virgo here. You have Pisces energy as well. Gemini energy coming through. And we have Cancer and Pisces energy coming through with the moon. You know what I like? I like that whatever this situation is here, even though it's making you feel a little disjointed, there is a feeling here that you still want to put effort in, that there are feelings here that you know exist and you want to make it work for you. If you're dealing with someone who is not 100% committed to you, maybe it's a time to sit down and have that conversation. But if you're doing all the work and the other person's not sort of contributing, then there probably has to be a very big conversation there. But I do see you trying to focus on a Hermit card sitting over the Nine of Cups. So it's like you're trying to ask yourself, will this make me happy? And if it stays like this, is it going to be something that I'm going to want to contribute to? Because the Five of Pentacles is here. And that says to me something is lacking in this situation. I feel like I'm speaking to people here where maybe, you know, the fun times are great and you're enjoying yourself when it's fun, but then the other times become particularly taxing and make you feel a bit sad that you're not getting what you're wanting here. So maybe you're dealing with someone, for example, will only see you once a week. You have a ball with them once a week, but they refuse to see you other days. That's the sort of energy. And is that what you want? And are you prepared to commit to that? Because I feel like you're dealing with someone who is probably super, like great fun, enjoyable. You know, when you're with them, everything's great. But then when you're not with them, you're thinking, is this what I really want? Very clear. So the question is, do I let go? Do I move on? Do I take an opportunity? And there's a slow progression here with the Knight of Pentacles. I'm just going to pull a card at random to go on that. The Judgment card, right, okay. So again, I'm feeling, not for all of you, but for some of you here, there is a possibility of moving to the next level. I feel like it's going to be slow. I feel like it's going to take a bit of work, but if it's what you want, you have to make sure that this person is on the same page as you. And there is a Judgment card here. So sometimes we can say to somebody, you know, you're not contributing, you know, things are really tough, and they give you all the promises under the sun, but they can't walk the talk. They talk the talk, they can't walk the talk. So it's like, yeah, sure, no worries, yeah, we'll do that, everything's great, yeah, we'll get on board, yeah, I'd love to, and then nothing. So if that's the case, then you're probably not going to go anywhere. But I feel like this person certainly does have some affection towards you, and maybe it will take time, but I feel like you're dealing with somebody very immature. I feel like you're dealing with somebody who does feel the love and affection, but perhaps is unable to make a commitment. And I always feel, you know, if you're in that situation and things have gotten quite deep, then you probably could have some sort of mediation or counselling that will get you out of the other side. But a lot of the time when you meet people who are not really ready to do that, they're not ready to front up to their own issues. And if you mention the idea of a counsellor or going to talk to someone, especially if this is a mediator here, then it's very, very possible that they will not want to do that because it makes them feel weak or unable to sort their problems out themselves, and they would rather run away like the Knight of Wands and turn their back on things. I do feel like for some of you though, this is a cut, this is a finish. I feel like no matter which way I sort of read the cards, there's this energy that things will not move forward unless you're on the same page. I feel that there is definitely a walking away from some people, but for others you're walking towards a commitment. But I feel like with this choice, you have to make a decision whether this person is right for you. I do see communication here, but I also see a rebuilding. So are you rebuilding alone and having a brand new beginning, or are you rebuilding with this person? And then I feel like the truth will set you free. So maybe putting this person on the line and asking them what they want. They may be truthful with you, and it may be something you have to deal with. Sometimes it's really hard because we know that may not be what we want to hear, but at the end of the day, at least you're not slogging it out for years and years and just feeling unhappy, miserable, and stuck in this sort of Five of Pentacles energy. There's nothing wrong with asking someone. I often think, you know, people just, the art of communication is lost so much in relationships. No, you know, when you're in love with someone, you don't want to be yourself or speak up because you're scared of losing them. Well, then you're not really showing your true face, and that relationship's probably not going to work well anyway. All right, let's see what the Oracle has to say. Oh, the blue flame. I have a feeling here that this came out either yesterday or the day before, because it talks about awakening. So I wonder in this situation whether you've put up with this for a long time and you're finally having the realization that it's not going in the direction you want to go in. Or maybe you're starting to understand that you can work with people to have a greater achievement if you're in the right frame of mind. There's a lot of blaming going on and a lot of arguing, then it's unlikely that your person will get on the same page. But if you have those conversations, at least you can clear up the possibilities. Will this work? Won't it? You know, and I feel that that's really, really important. And the blue flame tells me there's an awakening here. So whether this is an activation that's coming as a result of realizing that you have more value, or whether it is something that's coming because your person realizes you're worth going after, something here is changing the context of that relationship. And I feel like that's what the Chariot's saying. I feel like you need to both be on the same page going in the right direction. And if that is not the case, the Ace of Swords says you will just cut it and move on. I'll leave you with that. Thank you.